All right, today is Monday. It is March 27th.
Yeah, you got it.
March 27th.
That is Upset City.
It's the rundown brought to you by Lisa. Mattresses, $75 off. If you click on the link, you get the coupon. It doesn't matter if you need the new mattress today. It's like putting money in the bank for a rainy day. Lisa, mattresses. Lisa.com/Barstool, $75 off. Click on the link. All right, let's get into March Madness tournament. Dan,
How was Vegas?
Vegas is fun.
How was the pizza convention?
Didn't go. We didn't get approved.
I thought that was the whole reason you were going out there.
That was the original reason we were going out there, and then I got.
How did you not have approval before you left? Shocking.
We got like approved, but then they said we couldn't bring I don't know. We can get office manager Brett. They said they were hassling him the whole time. They had to approve.
If you had access, you would have gone.
If we could have brought the cameras in, yeah. They wouldn't let us bring cameras.
It looked like you were going to be hurting puppy.
Well, it doesn't actually start till tomorrow.
Oh, got it.
So I would have.
Vegas was fun though.
But luckily the room is booked through.
The fact that it is. Yeah.
That's a Brett era.
Suite.
The suite, I believe, is active right now and empty.
Oh my God.
But
Wild move, by the way. Already
is this
like
just diversionary tactics, not to talk about Wisconsin?
No, you went, dude. You spent the last 5 days throwing a birthday party for yourself in Vegas while tweeting it out. You don't think people want to hear about that?
3 days. Thursday, Friday,
Wednesday,
Saturday.
Friday.
Thursday,
Come
Friday,
on.
Saturday, Sunday.
This is ridiculous.
You
You TP40. Every place you went had pictures of your face.
Two travel days. Two travel days.
We want to
Don't
hear
count
about
those
it.
Birthday parties.
You threw
That was
yourself
gonna
a
be
birthday
post-show.
week. You were a chick move. We want to hear about it.
That was going to be post-show. It was fun. It was wild.
What I was going to say was,
but it's 3 days. Travel days don't count. Wednesday and Sunday.
Crazy move throwing gasoline on a fire by having Matty Walsh there.
You think Matty Walsh would
He's
miss
crazy.
that party?
No, I know, but Matty Walsh, when I saw that, I gasped. I was like,
That Matty Walsh was there?
Yeah, I was like,
Matty
you already
Walsh.
got Pat McAfee. Matty Walsh is like to
No,
the next
McAfee
level.
does sound though like he's next level.
Our crew, there's nobody could ever look at that crew that we were rolling with and be like, if you didn't know what it was, because you had McAfee who wears jorts and that straw hat and tank top everywhere he goes, and also looks like
He didn't look like he showered.
I don't know if he did.
I don't think he slept.
McAfee was doing the Stone Cold, but he was drinking the whole beers.
No,
He
it was
also-
missing. It was incredible. I was like, were those empty beers? Was he faking it? Nope, just drank it all.
He was also doing the Stone Cold, and like I had to have a couple conversations, like, can you let us get it on camera? Because he was just doing it, but like instantly for himself. So we had him, we had me, like just kind of a 40-year-old, like, what's this guy doing there? You have Frankie, who looks like he's 12. You have Matt Walsh, who's tall as fuck, like, and Matt Walsh dresses in like t-shirts and like flat brims. You have Gaz wearing his hats everywhere, and then you had Lewis, who dressed like a homeless, like chic. It just, you look at that crew, you're like, who are these people and how do they know each other?
How much would Spags have ruined it?
Tough to say. Tough to say. I don't think anybody. I mean, McAfee.
The whole time I saw your clips, and I was like, if it was just you, like, you know, party, and then it just panned, it was Spags.
It was a good
doing
one.
like a
laugh
blog,
out loud
like
funny.
putting up a clickbait blog.
We had a good crew. At no point it was like, oh, this guy's getting too much. Or it was. I mean, I will say McAfee. We were out late every day. I mean, we were out 3, 4, 5 a.m. I never left with McAfee. McAfee. I don't know when McAfee got home. McAfee pretty much blacks out every time he goes out, and then he's got his two boys, and they reconvene and they tell him what he did. Like, it's like, okay, what did I do? Was I awesome at night? And they just go through. It's like, well, you went head first down the. He literally, from the way I understand it, fell down an entire flight of stairs at like the casino, like an entire floor, and slid like across the floor and just laid there. He's also, we talked earlier about how you feel about people not following the rules in blackjack.
Yeah, no, I know. I saw the two queens thing, and I like that you finally came to my side.
I've never seen anybody do that.
Yeah,
and he does it. He also has the least appreciation of money I've ever seen in my life. And some may say I don't.
I mean, yeah, he turned down millions of dollars to play for the Colts.
It all makes sense now.
He wanted to buy a $30,000 private plane, dead serious. I was as fatherly as could be. He wanted to buy a private jet to fly back to Indianapolis for 30 grand for like a 3-hour flight. I was like, man, there's got to be better ways to do that. He was playing craps, and he'd just take out all his money. He'd be like $10,000 on like the field, which is like one bet. And he won it twice in a row. And they're like, Pat, let's get out of here. He's like, all right. Before we got out, he put 20 grand on roulette. Like and
it hit it.
And it hit it. He does not care. He does not care. When he split the queens, I went on a $25,000 losing streak.
Oh, man,
I was
it
hot,
happens, yeah.
and then everything,
It happens.
blackjack, hoops, whatever, and it was.
I saw your hoops picks. They were not good.
That was
that was
Yo,
tough.
but in Michigan and West Virginia both looked like winners with like 30 seconds to go.
Yeah.
I know. I bounced back a little bit. I had Wisconsin. That was a push, which we'll get into. I had Kentucky yesterday.
Which was an unbelievable win.
Well,
If you
I
had 2.5.
pushed.
Oh, you had 2.
You bought the point?
I had a half. I had 2.5.
Did you buy the half a point?
No, it went up and down, back and forth, 2 and
All right,
2.5.
so I had that, and then I had South Carolina. So I lost a little bit, but in the end, the tables I was up a little bit. So it was an expensive weekend, but with McAfee there, it's tough to you have to just control yourself because this guy has no comprehension really of anything.
Frankie saved his life. He almost got hit by a car. Frankie grabbed him and pulled him out of traffic because he was just blacked out, falling out of cabs.
He was in a
Like,
club.
imagine that if there was like, well, McAfee actually died. He got hit by a car, he's dead.
We saw Kyle Rudolph at a club, and I love Kyle Rudolph. He was much more outgoing than he was like when he was on the radio. But Pat McAfee stood in the club and did this to Kyle Rudolph for an hour and a half. He just stood on the edge, just giving him the finger. And Rudolph, by the way, is the type of guy who just turned around and did the same thing. They were just doing this at each other in the club for like an hour and a half. It was
Amazing.
bananas. I saw your boy Rizzo. They were at the
Oh,
same
yeah, 'cause
hotel.
Vegas was-
so
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like
I
me
can't
and him.
imagine they were
I
turning up, right?
he was playing blackjack. He was in just the same room. He came over and said hello. But yeah, it was a wild weekend. We had everything. I mean, who has an active shooter in their hotel?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I told that story. I was literally we had like an hour before we were going out, so I was going out to play blackjack. And that dude was just carrying ice. And he's like, hey, Prez. I'm like, what's up? He's like, oh, you may not want to go down there. I'm like, why? He's like, there's an active shooter in the hotel. And he just kept walking. I was like, what? And then I Twittered, it was like there was literally.
That would have been so much better if someone didn't actually get murdered.
Barstool.
Yeah, I know. When you did that press conference, like,
Threw cold water on the whole
Yeah,
thing.
but at the time I did that, I thought there was a report that it was
wasn't real. I saw
yeah.
that too, so I can't blame you.
Barstool Carl was there.
Yeah.
I had conflicting
Yeah.
reports on Barstool Carl. I saw
he's a
Barstool
great
Carl.
guy, yeah.
Very friendly, very nice.
Yeah, no, he's the best.
I heard Barstool Carl can be a little bit different when he's obliterated.
No, he's a good guy. But I mean, everyone gets a little different.
Everyone's got a
when
little
they-
loud
Yeah,
shot in him.
McAfee's dying.
I mean,
almost died.
McAfee's though weirdly
Same way.
similar. Like he's just like out of control. So it was a fun long weekend, and now everyone's pretty much dead.
Speaking of dead,
Speaking of dead,
I can't believe you're still alive. That was.
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Where does that rank?
It wasn't the Duke loss. The Duke loss will never, Dave, we had that conversation 5 minutes after that loss. Wisconsin will never get back there. It's just the fact that it's like it was such a perfect storm. I totally had written this team off. I thought they were going to be, not good. They had an awful February. They beat Nova. They're playing in Madison Square Garden. I have tickets. The only buzzer beater of the entire tournament is in my face. It's just classic.
The score was tied,
and
right?
also that you.
No,
like,
we were up.
Oh, you were
We were
up.
up
They
two.
would've won
They
that
needed
game.
that to
Yeah.
win.
And the fact
Oh,
that you
yeah,
had
yeah,
the
yeah,
dramatics extended in overtime.
Yeah.
Like it was all.
Like they
kinda
were
going
dead,
your
they were
way.
alive. They came out really hot. I was like, this is gonna be easy. Then they're dead.
In a
and
matter
they come
of
back.
a few minutes, you had the pure joy and then the pure misery.
Unbelievable.
What
It's just-
game did you
and
think
then-
was a better game? That or Kentucky?
Kentucky UNC was weird. It was like, the ending was better in Kentucky UNC probably, but it wasn't. It was kind of a clunky game.
It was a game of runs where it was like
Right.
one team would play really shitty,
Right.
one team would get hot, and then we kind of
Like the end of the first half of the Kentucky UNC game was some of the worst basketball I've ever watched in my life. So it's like that had weird aspects to it. But the end of the Kentucky UNC game was unbelievable. And the fact that Cal didn't call a timeout, he even said it. He's like, I'll never know what I was thinking, like to not call a timeout right after that made basket. So
What did you think of the Mecca?
the Mecca,
So
Mecca
just
was
we've gone back and forth. on whether Madison Square Garden is the Mecca just because it's New York or it's the arena's different in electricity. You saw a fight there. You saw Triple G.
Yep.
I say Triple G. You can't use that because prize fights in themselves have a different type of electricity. Maybe you haven't seen a normal event there, but what was
College
no.
basketball is not going to be a good rep.
No, it actually
point
was
of reference
pretty.
either.
It was pretty loud there for the night game. The South Carolina Baylor game was obviously not like well attended, but it was very loud, especially considering the fact that was supposed to be Duke Villanova. You know, it was supposed to be the Duke Villanova Elite Eight.
That was the letdown
so,
game, basically.
yeah, I mean the South Carolina fans were crazy yesterday. We went back, which that was an all-time team move by me. PFT, we had John Kuhn was in town, and PFT asked that I go back. So I had to literally go back and sit in the seat that I died in on Friday night and watch two teams I didn't want to watch. That sucked.
Michigan, sneaky. The offensive rebound that they let up that basically would have ended the game, I'll never understand how they let that guy get that rebound. That ball was the easiest rebound ball ever.
Your problem was you had the big German just didn't show up as good as he played in the game before. Yeah,
He was way off. They played terrible. But I mean, to be honest, if they just rebound this easiest rebound ever, they win that game. And they're
How much
still
did that
going.
put a damper on things, or did you just keep
No,
moving
I mean,
quickly?
I think I've said this before. I root for Michigan. They are not like a Boston team for me. They're. If you said I could have any Boston championship over a Michigan championship, I always go Boston. So.
A Bruins Cup over a Michigan football
Yeah, that's
championship?
no
way.
The Bruins hockey, no.
Celtics
Celtics,
over
absolutely.
Harbaugh?
No questions asked.
I see. For Wisconsin, it's just I would like to win one, just one, because they're the classic at this point. They're always like in the mix, and they'll never win one.
Yeah.
And I kind of realize that. So every time I get my hopes up, I just walk into the same punch every single spring.
Well, although you said it, you're like you said that they may beat Villanova, they'll make a run, but they're not going to win.
Oh,
the
I
whole
predicted the exact run. I said they're not going to lose until I am convinced they're going to go to the Final Four. And when Nigel Hayes hit that second free throw, I was like, bags are packed. We're going to Phoenix. Boom.
thing. What do you think of the Final Four odds? It's stunning to me that Gonzaga is the favorite.
No, it's not stunning to me. I mean, they were the number one Ken Pom team all year. They're the number one ranked. I mean, North Carolina still doesn't have a defense that you can trust, right? So Gonzaga has a defense you can trust. They'll probably slow it down. Those are the two best teams. I'd be shocked if it's not Gonzaga. Although
I think South
Oregon's
Carolina
been playing great.
I think South Carolina would be.
Problem
the
is
team.
South Carolina is going strength on strength. It's number one and number two defense, but Gonzaga has guys who can actually shoot threes, and South Carolina can't. But I take that back when I just said it's going to be Gonzaga, North Carolina, because Oregon's playing great. What they did to Kansas, they made Kansas look like shit.
And I feel like that's one of those like West Coast teams that nobody really kind of pays attention to
Right.
around here, and then all of a sudden,
They have a good coach. They
legit
slow it down. I still think what's crazy is Roy Williams is the most accomplished coach of the Final Four. I think he's the worst coach of the Final Four. And I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for that hot take, but that's actually how I believe.
I
Coach
think
Cal
10 to
in that
1.
game, though.
Yeah, I mean Coach Cal's another one where it's like those guys are great recruiters and they're great like managers of talent. I don't think they're always the best like
X's and
in-game.
O's.
Did you hear
X's
what
and
Cal
O's.
said about watching tape of that game? He's like, I'm never.
Yeah, no, that's what
like,
I'm saying. He said that he doesn't know why he didn't call a timeout there to try to slow that down because
He was like,
North Carolina.
I watched too much tape. I'll never watch tape of that game.
It-
It's like, but you made a critical error.
Right.
You should probably watch tape of that game.
In
man.
his defense, North Carolina is so good at made shot ball out. Like the ball is already down the court before you even can blink.
Yeah, I agree in hindsight. You want to call timeout, you want to stop the ball. I don't think that was as egregious a mistake as, I mean, it happened really. I know it's like you got to know everything, but that was like it all happened extremely fucking fast.
But Roy did outcoach him in the fact that when Kentucky, it felt like Kentucky had that game when they went up like 4. They had
They
that
were up
like
5 and
yeah,
timeout,
and UNC called timeout
64,
and
59.
adjusted, and they then took control back of that game.
What it was obviously all the videos which we should put in of the Kentucky students dying is hilarious. Now again, this is the one I was thinking. It is a little different when you're tied as opposed to when you're up. When you go from a win-loss as opposed to you're going to overtime. The one kid I hate is the kid in the bar video who's just doing this in the front. Like I hate that kid. Do you know what I'm talking? Like he's blocking views. He's doing that the whole time. I didn't like that kid. Regardless, anytime people die in sports, it's the best. notoriously, nothing. Are there any Wisconsin dying videos?
Just Dan.
Yeah, probably just me.
Just Danny boy.
Someone ripped it off and like posted it on their personal YouTube, and it has like 50,000 views. Like, motherfucker.
You dying?
Yeah. Like Wisconsin fan reaction.
Is that just because they don't care? Like, why is there all the Wisconsin, the Kentucky stuff, but no Wisconsin?
No, I have no idea why. I saw one bar. I mean, they don't make this like a they don't care thing. It's just
It's a legitimate question.
it's a Sweet 16 versus an Elite 8. It's a late Friday night when people. I mean, like all those bar videos we saw in Kentucky looked like they were like professionally set up, didn't it? Like there was a couple that were.
There was one
like
street
media,
video.
right?
Yeah, no, there was one that was in the auditorium.
Right,
By the
I mean,
way,
that's
let's
simply-
go defense chant in an auditorium makes no sense to me.
I also
Like
think,
they're in your own
yeah.
auditorium, like going, let's go defense.
right, and you also see like Kentucky. It felt like when you get to the Elite 8, when it's a trip to the Final Four, they have like all the media out in Lexington and like a lot of those videos where it's people, burning shit. They had the same in Kansas.
Are you going to stop going to games with Hank?
No, it's not a
are you gonna
curse.
retire
It's not a curse because
It's a curse.
we
Both of
saw
those things are
NLCS game 1 together, and we saw Wisconsin beat Kentucky in the Final Four, which was another amazing game. I think it's just a coincidence, and I actually have a question for you guys. What's the crazier feat? Hank and I seeing all these losses together. We saw the only WrestleMania loss for Undertaker.
That was bananas.
Or the fact that Hank and I, the Blackhawks have won 3 Stanley Cups, 2 since I started at Barstool. Hank and I have been to, I think, 4 Blackhawks playoff games, and they've lost all 4.
All 4, yeah.
Even though they've won the Stanley Cups in those years.
Just because you saw a couple wins, though, that's a curse. Everything you just listed is a curse.
No, because there's
No, because the Cubs won the World Series.
Yeah.
They ended up winning the World
It could be
Series.
Wisconsin. It could be that sweatshirt curse. There could be different things.
That's true.
If the
sweatshirt should go.
if the Cubs didn't win the World Series, then I would say that the curse lives on because then they always end in demise. Except for the Blackhawks, so it's not a curse.
Yeah,
it's just a coincidence.
But, the Blackhawks are a distant 4 for you too. Aren't
Yeah,
they?
but I mean, it's still Hank and I have seen like 15 games together. I think we're like 2-13.
That ain't good. Maybe it's not a curse, but it ain't good.
We've had
Pretty
a lot
remarkable.
We've had a lot of funny pictures through Barstool, but the one that is up there, if I probably put top 10, like if I really sat down and did it, is the lady we saw at the airport, the girl.
Yes.
After the Undertaker lost, who had like
the sign or
she
something,
had
right?
the most elaborate glow up.
It was Undertaker 31-0 sign.
It
was
like, not anymore.
It was but I mean, Hank said that he's like he just can't help but just laugh when these happen. Like he was just laughing so hard.
PFT too was so perfect in the background.
I wish I was
Working,
there for that.
Trying to be nice.
I wish I was
I
there.
can't
for
believe
that.
that happened. I still can't believe that.
I wish I was there.
It was. I mean,
Granted, the
how do you
Michigan
not guard the 3-point line?
That's
it was
what
the
I said.
weirdest defense I've ever
not
seen.
It was really not a contested shot. As much as it was a wild shot, it was.
I agree with you guys, but the type of shot he took, it's like sort of hard.
No, it was a crazy shot. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it felt like most of the Wisconsin team was in the backcourt, and they should have been standing, 3-point line extended just so that he has to take an even deeper shot. Nigel Hayes ran with him and then let him go, and no one was around him.
Nobody was there.
No
No
one was
one's even
around.
close to in front of him.
Insane.
What do we think about Luke Maye, who hit? By the way, that was a fucking tough shot. The Luke Maye shot. That was a
Ballsy.
tough
He had a
ass
good game.
shot. I don't know. It's
had a
not
big
even
game.
ballsy. I mean, he had no choice, but it's a tough fucking shot. What do we think of Kevin and I disagree? No, we agree.
No, Caleb
there was some
disagreed
disagreement. We think he showed up. So he hits the shot at 7 p.m. He shows up at his 8 a.m. calculus class the next morning, gets a standing ovation. Did he go to this class to soak up the adulation of being the game-winning shot, or did he go to the class because he's a student? Him and I are clearly, he went for the standing ovation. He's going everywhere.
What about 3? He went because everyone knows North Carolina athletics. No one has to go to class, and they did all those fake transcripts with the football program, basketball program. So Roy was like, "You got to be at that class so that we can have this go viral." And everyone be like, "Look, they do go to school."
Send the white. Send the
Just
white
saying,
kid in.
that's my.
Okay,
I'm
so
going with that one.
That would be, that's fine. I can take that. I can live with that.
Because
take.
you're right. Because a lot of other websites were like, "This is student
Oh
athletes."
man, look at these kids.
So that's definitely
So
possible.
nobody's saying he's going there because he didn't want to miss his notes.
No.
Caleb is.
Caleb Presley, UNC grad, is saying that.
He's saying we have no clue.
fucking
He's saying we have no clue how student athletes work and all that shit. I was like,
Dude.
Is Caleb there? Caleb, want to come over for a sec, defend your take?
I don't think I ever attended an 8 a.m. class.
No,
and you didn't hit a game-winning fucking.
I'd sign up for classes and be like, this looks interesting. Oh, 8 a.m.?
8 a.m.
Never
no,
mind.
Never. So Caleb, UNC grad, athlete, we are debating whether
Luke Maye.
You're saying he went to class because that's what students do.
That's not what I said.
What did you say?
He said they have to go to 3 classes during March, and this was probably one of them, and he's that type of guy, so he went to class. That's what you said.
Like I don't know Luke Maye, but he doesn't strike me as he strikes me as a great role player, and he strikes me as the type of guy who's going to go to class. You don't
You just
become
say white.
white.
Yeah.
I said on the radio.
You're saying
It's the first thing I said.
It had nothing, those are 2 separate events, essentially. Him hitting that shot had nothing to do with him attending class.
I don't think he probably even thought about it.
So,
I
Caleb,
think
what
he
do you
probably was
think
like, I
about,
got to go to class in the morning, and he went to class.
What do you think about my take that it's because UNC, everyone knows they have a reputation earned, that's a fair reputation that the student athletes don't go to class and they get passes and they have fake transcripts. So Roy Williams is like, or probably not Roy, it was probably like, head of basketball, head of AD or whatever, director of operations.
Just planted him in the
Yeah, it
class?
was like, yo, you need to get to that class, because this will go viral.
Possibly.
Yeah.
All right,
fair.
that's a little different take. Side note, I don't know why I thought about that when you said it was someone other than Roy Williams. You know who's my favorite guy in the tournament every year is Bob Huggins, assistant guy there. Do you know what I'm talking about? The crazy intense guy.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
The guy who's more crazy than Bob Huggins. And his
borderline
only
impossible.
job is to just look crazy and make sure Bob Huggins doesn't die.
I fucking love that guy.
That's a dicey
Tough job. Tough job.
LeVar Ball, is that the dad's name?
Yes.
So LeVar Ball, he was on, ever since PMT has started, I can never get
It's first take.
first take. I get that, and it's totally fucked my brain with both part of my take and first take and PMT. I just can't do it. Anyway, he's on that show. He comes in strutting that ass, doing his thing. Looks like his son wants to kill himself. There's also footage of him playing pickup basketball. A lot of people are killing him for saying he's not that good. I watched the video. I was more impressed by the team in white. Who the fuck were those guys?
That was like a mismatch. Like those guys should not be in the same
Those
league.
guys look like
they were
they
running
were
them out of the
a
gym.
legitimate D-League team, like an affiliated D-League team.
The one guy who swatted him, he got his head above the rim.
It's like, and I think Jason Williams was on the team in the white. Like some of the moves they had to the basket. So everyone's like, he's so bad, he's so bad. I don't know. That league there were people cheering too. There was like a crowd. What was that?
I don't know.
It was. Lavar cutting to the hoop and throwing it off the backboard.
That was
like
crazy.
he was gonna fucking throw down an alley-oop to himself. Was unbelievable.
Consistent.
He's a house. He's a big boy.
Huge.
He was.
But the way people were talking, I thought he was going to be way more obvious how bad he was. I just couldn't take
it wasn't good.
But he said he could beat Michael Jordan.
Yeah, it's Loud Sean. It's Loud Sean in real life.
Again,
he ran his mouth that much and then was out of gas, Loud Sean style, throwing the ball off the
But if
backboard
you
to himself.
told me the guy wearing the Jordan shirt on the white team was Jordan, I'd be like, he may be. That's how good that team in white was. They didn't miss the whole fucking game.
Dave, you missed, because obviously you were in Vegas, I think someone tagged you in the tweet. Danny Boy Kane got into a fight with someone about LeVar Ball versus Michael Jordan. And the person who was trolling Danny Boy Kane was like, Danny Boy Kane kept on being like, Michael Jordan has 6 finals MVPs, LeVar Ball can't do that. And the guy was like, tell me when Michael Jordan can average 2.2 points at Washington State. And Danny Boy Kane got so mad. He was like, this is ridiculous that we're having this. It's just the best. He's the best.
I
fucking love that guy.
Danny Boy King. What he is he has no sarcasm. He's just straight literal.
Did we put that shirt on sale yet?
Zero.
Did we put that shirt on sale yet?
If
we just had
all his things, I was not.
Side note, total tangent. Danny Boy Kane, Stingray Steve has blocked all of us.
Why?
I think maybe because you wrote that blog about the meme, but that's not your fault. That was viral.
And I defended him.
Yeah,
Right?
but he's blocked all of us.
Man,
That's a shame.
Real sad.
See what happens.
It's sad when internet superstars get that head. It's like the funniest thing in the world.
When internet heroes die. But Danny Boy Kane, and that is it. He's just straight literal. It makes for unbelievable content. Rundown brought to you by Untuck It. Love these shirts. I wore one, I think, last rundown I was on. They kind of fit perfectly. They come the right length. You don't have to, as it says, untuck it. You can wear the shirt untucked. The code is Stoolies. I saw one of our interns working on Danny Boy Kane.
I just saw that too.
I totally got mesmerized. It's like, ooh,
It's
Danny
garbage
Boy
and
Kane.
it's rubbish and it's not true.
That's the one. Put that on a shirt.
Garbage is rubbish.
Put that on a shirt right now. We all retire.
I have never
Big Papa
encountered
Kane
a
and
bear.
Hulkamaniac.
I've been dragging me. Been having a hell of a time.
A hell of a time on Kane's
I've
time.
never encountered a bear. If I saw a bear, I'd hightail it out of here like Carl Lewis.
20%.
Dude, Dave and I sometimes will we've had many a dinner where we'll just sit
Just
there
say the whole
and just
thing.
quote it back
It's
and forth and
unbelievable.
laugh
It is
our asses
unbelievable.
off.
And as always, go Canes. 20, that's how he starts.
Hulkamaniac. I'm having a hell of a time.
So for all you ask Big Papa Kane and Hulkamaniac, 20% off all purchases for Untuck It. Go to Untuck It. They got stores online. Stoolies. Use the promo code Stoolies. 20% off all purchases. I haven't had one iota of the swine flu.
Not one iota.
I love to. He defends the child payment, child support. He's like, he wasn't even born yet.
Yeah.
When they saw Daniel Rivera. He just literally. But if I did have a kid, I would pay the child support.
I don't have kids. If I did, I would have dealt with that privately. Okay? I would have dealt with that internally. But I don't have kids. I am not the father of those. Besides, there's one important point. The birth date is 3 years after I was born. So I can tell you definitely that photo is not me.
All right. Anthony Weiner's wife in the news because she's supposedly going to take back Weiner. This is after Weiner has sent a bazillion dick pics. He sent dick pics to 15-year-olds. He did it, I guess, with his baby in the background. I don't know. It's a tough look for Anthony Weiner's wife, but it is Huma. What do you got, KFC? You wrote the
Huma.
blog.
Rock bottom for Huma. Rock bottom for chicks. I don't think you can have a worse look for the entire gender than taking this dude back. Looks like an ostrich. Sends weird dick pics. Ruined your career. And, is also like a felon for sexting a 15-year-old. It's not like you took him back for like cheating. That's as bad as it gets. We debated on the radio what would be worse. He took back Hammy or Huma taking back Weiner.
It's probably the Huma.
Yeah.
Huma. But this
And by the way, that's just really bad for you to say that.
What?
That Weiner's really bad. For you to be like, it would be worse for Huma.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes of what you think about Huma.
This just means a Weiner's dick game is probably A1.
That's what I was
right?
saying. Like Carlos Danger
just,
must throw down.
Yeah, because he's getting all. I mean, just the fact that he's texting with all these chicks too, like the guy must. The guy must be putting multiples out there.
Huma also had to be thinking Hillary's going to win. I'm going to be in the White House doing whatever the fuck she does. And then when that disappears, it's like, well, what do I have? I'm just Huma.
Yeah,
I'll take him back.
My boy Lebron went on a Twitter rant, and I guess it started with Forbes named him like one of the top 5 most successful leaders. I don't know if it just sports or was it the world.
I was
Must
under
be
the
sports.
that's what I thought. I was under the
Must be
impression it was like
sports.
world, but it's Epstein and him.
Yeah. So it must be sports, and they tweeted it. And first of all, I was so mad. I screenshotted. I literally, because I was on a plane when I first saw, I screenshotted his response to that tweet. He wasn't tagged. He said, "Thank you, Forbes, but I'm not the leader. The real leaders are the teachers, the educators, the people who work with the kids." It is the most LeBron thing. It's like, LeBron, you're a hero. Oh, I'm not a hero like the troops of this. Shut up. Like, shut up, dude. It's something else. It's side note. But then he went on a rant about how, I guess, that coaches don't show enough tough love and the pussification of America. K. Marco blogged it. And it is something that pussification of America and all that shit that we don't agree with, I don't agree with. But LeBron nobody has ever said no to that guy. And who has ever been tough to LeBron? Nobody. The guy's been his own coach and been babied and handled his entire life. So of all the people to go on this rant, he should just say thank you. It's all in line with his dad shtick teacher thing.
He's a father.
I
Father
fucking
of 3.
hate this guy. I fucking
You missed where it started though. It started with Frank Martin having
Was
a
he-
quote
was-
viral, and then LeBron being like,
Jumped in on it.
interesting.
Right. Yeah.
And
Mar-
Mark just say the
Frank
same
Martin
thing.
just said it so concisely and so like it was great. And then LeBron had like
Is that
7
what he meant
tweets
when he said
of
Big Frank though? No.
No, I
No,
don't think
no,
so.
no,
Those
no.
were like his coaches.
So
and
he
his
was
guys.
keeping it separate, but was just
was the
latching
same
on-
No,
exact
I
message.
disagree with you a little bit. I mean, the guy didn't have like a rosy upbringing. He lived in poverty and had a
Did he live in poverty?
Yeah, and his
Oh, yeah.
his
He,
dad
like,
wasn't around.
was, like,
ever
legit
around.
But
homeless.
he
So
never-
let's not. I get what you're saying because he has been able to call his own shots his entire professional career, but
he's not. I don't think
let's
he's
not
ever.
pretend that like he
Was like a prep school
yeah,
boy, like,
right.
living
Like
the
he
easy
didn't
life,
have it
silver
that
spoon.
way.
No, but that's a different. That's
No,
a
but
different conversation.
It's not really because his
Right.
point was more about when you're a kid.
Yeah,
and
he's
we don't know
saying-
what the fuck the coaches were
Right.
telling him when he was a kid.
Oh, I do.
No.
He was a monster when he was an AAU kid. From age 12 on, he never had a coach. tell
I
him to do
understand,
boo.
but it's still. I mean, look, you
That's
don't
a fact,
become
Bully.
you don't become LeBron James without putting a shitload of work in. So while I agree with your disdain for him, and I actually want to bring up something that you'll love from the weekend. I can't be sitting here and being like the guy has been babied his whole life and
Definitely
he's never worked hard. Like
I didn't say
you
work
don't-
hard. I said
I
the
mean
guy
that
has been
babied and work hard kind of are.
No, he's never had a coach like really get on him.
I
since
probably
he's been 12
disagree
years
with
old.
that. I'm sure his high school coach was
Definitely not.
I don't think you get to where you're at in life. I don't think you get to where LeBron's at if everyone was like, LeBron, do whatever you want.
Oh, yeah.
There's no
For him,
no way
since
that
he's been
can work.
12 on. Yes, it can.
What?
Because he's that supremely
but he's
talented.
that accomplished and that good. Like there's a lot of talented players where I understand what you're saying,
Right.
but you don't become like the greatest ever.
Right. You can't get to that next level. Like
Well, you
can't-
haven't seen his fucking gym Instagrams when he says he's fucking addicted to the game. And like, I love this dog! Back-to-back day off, I can't get out of the gym. That's fucking
Okay, so
wonderful.
what we can agree on is Saturday was classic LeBron. He scratched his eye on someone scratched his eye on Friday, so he was wearing these goofy ass goggles on Saturday. He missed a 3-pointer in the first quarter and he
Took
just
him up.
spiked him.
I
It was
think
these fucking goggles is messing my game up.
that's like when
Ripping
he had a
the
problem with
sleeves.
the shirt.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
the
best.
sleeves. Remember when
I
he
love
wore,
the sleeves.
Remember when he wore the black mask? What a fucking
The
loser.
fact that you guys actually think a coach has like gotten on him for real since age 12 is
I
bananas.
th-
You can't like automatically assume that's never
right, and I
Yes,
just don't
know
think
for
you
a
get.
fact it's happened.
I don't think you accomplish what he's accomplished without having at least someone in his life being like,
Push
"Hey,
him hard.
you gotta work
All
hard."
he was saying is just like push someone to motivate you.
Yeah.
Right? At some point, somebody motivated him.
Right.
I didn't know we had such LeBron dick suckers on the show.
This is
God.
I think we're the most rational people ever. We just don't want to. Like
telling
I
you.
agree. I think you can blame him for copying Frank Martin and for doing the. I agree with the whole LeBron being like the troops are the real heroes, all that. But saying he's never like been pushed and he never,
He's never been pushed.
that's
Okay.
a little too
Okay,
far.
next up.
He hasn't. Steve Aoki, Ultra. This is the other big party event of the weekend. This is a funny clip you got to show. Aoki's like a crazy guy. This is probably like one of his shticks.
Yeah.
Where he just throws a cake
cake
out.
face, yeah.
But he just fucking buried this girl.
He is more accurate with a cake than anybody in the world, any quarterback, any pitcher, anything. He hits people square in the face.
Is that like good, by the way? Was the girl like, yeah,
Yeah,
I've been caked?
they put girls up on the shoulders and they're like, me.
Oh,
and
that's
he picks
the
them
thing.
out
Cakes-
and he fucking airmails it and it direct hits. It's unbelievable. He did it to a guy in a
awesome.
wheelchair once. They held him up on a wheelchair. And it, honestly, in the camera angle, it looked like it was 75 yards away. And he nails it.
I don't understand how, like, we couldn't get insurance by the end of the
Yeah.
Blackout Tour. This guy's like killed somebody.
I mean,
He,
those-
like,
imagine
he
getting
jumps off,
smashed
like,
with a
He
cake.
does like Shane McMahon moves. Like he goes up to triple decks and they have a raft. At least they used to, like a little inflatable raft, and he like jumps. Like he literally comes from like the ceiling, and I think he like murdered somebody one time, and they still insure his shows. It's crazy. But us,
That cake throw was
Unbelievable.
something else.
Unbelievable.
And then you saw Kirk Cousins do the baby reveal, and he like missed the like main box.
That was-
from 5 feet away, and then you got Steve Aoki caking people from 500 yards.
That Kirk Cousins thing.
It's like what the
was,
fuck?
like, I don't know, film it again, dude. Do it again. Don't put that one out
He's
there.
such a basic.
There was also a clip, if we're just doing straight viral, that truck clip was amazing. I don't know if you guys saw that, like, is one of those dirt truck race.
Oh, the first front flip
cool.
ever,
The
monster
first
truck.
front flip ever.
Grave digger.
So cool.
I don't even understand. I saw someone but how do you even practice that?
Yeah.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, you ride it like on a wheelie, and then that was awesome.
Yeah.
That
So
made
put
me
that
into
clip
monster
in.
trucks.
For some reason, I laughed too every time I saw at the Vegas airport like kind of a fat, gross chick wearing a Monster Jam like shirt, like the Monster Truck Jam. Every time I see that, I do. Like I just laugh to myself. It's like one of those shirts that like
That's like subtly the most disrespectful thing you could say about that chick.
like
You
it's just kind of laugh. It's
how
like
you
if
do
I
it,
see
huh?
a Gravedigger shirt, I laugh.
Oh,
It's like,
Gravedigger, yeah, for sure. You have to.
yeah.
Is that still the same guy, or
Oh,
is
yeah.
it just the car?
No, Gravedigger.
That guy's still alive. I feel like that guy's been alive forever.
No, never ends. Gravedigger.
Wow.
Gravedigger will
He's
go
immortal.
on. Oakland Raiders 33-1. They're going to Vegas. I have mixed emotions because I hate when teams move. It sucks. I
lot of
love the
moving in the
Oakland.
NFL.
Yeah, love the Oakland Raiders. Love everything about them. But if you're gonna go to one place that fits the Raiders, it's Vegas. So it's kind of cool.
It just sucks because it's like the black hole and
Yep.
just that whole like aura. Now it's just going to be out of town fans because every fan base is going to be like, okay, I want to go watch my team in Vegas. It's going to be great.
It's rare for a team in any sport with this much history to move. It sucks.
They've moved
when the
They
Chargers
twice.
move around,
Yeah, right.
But
They have a history of moving.
Yeah, I guess that's
technically.
their shtick.
Yeah, but the Oakland Raiders is a cool thing. It sucks that they're 2 years. They got the young quarterback, so we'll see what happens. That's a rundown. We already did Vegas. Any other topics? Post.
Oh, you see Ravel murdered me?
I saw
Everyone
that.
was flipping
I
out about
thought
that.
he did that earlier, actually.
So so here's my only problem with it. Like, it was actually a good own, and I'll tip my cap to him. But Ravel plays by his own rules a little bit. He won't come on Pardon My Take because he was upset that PFT did this to him at Houston when he like, hey Ravel, and did that.
118.
He like actually was upset. He's like, I don't like those are against like the rules of our friendship or
Man
whatever.
code?
Yeah, but then he like will take shots whenever he wants. So it's like
You
can't
play
really
dirty
do that.
and then block people.
Right,
And not,
right. You gotta. If you're
wanna
gonna
be
be
in-
the shit talker, you gotta. I'm cool with shit talking, but you can't do it whenever you're convenient. So
To Ravel's defense, this move hurts.
it does,
that's
but
like a
he blocked.
really-
He's blocked
That's a
PFT.
really intense.
He blocked PFT.
Public.
No, I know.
move.
He blocked PFT, and
I'm one of those guys. Sometimes you make your bed, you sleep. You do this to that guy.
yeah,
on
no,
TV.
he was
It's
clearly
like-
upset about it because he's brought it up a couple
It's an
times.
aggressive.
I
like,
just,
there's one of those things you don't like to do.
I think Ravel gets a lot out of his relationship with Barstool. So it's like,
Give back.
yeah, exactly. It's like he gets a lot out of being like associated with the cool guys.
Yeah,
because
I-
everyone else on the internet hates him.
It's getting pantsed one bad. Whoosh.
Yeah.
Two. So it's bad.
I just would
Imagine
like.
pantsing him.
I would have no problem if he talks shit, but then like back
The
it up
only thing
and
I'll
like came
say
and did
is
a
that
podcast.
he might be worried that he's in a good spot right now, and like if he goes on your show and there's full exposure, people might just go back to hating him.
True.
What if you
So-
pants him?
But that's I might try to pants.
See? Then you can't blame him for not going
I just
on.
want.
Imagine
I just
pantsing.
don't know. He's thrown out rules. I've never thrown out a rule at him.
Yeah.
That's my problem. It's like he's like, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that. I've never been like, hey, Ravel, don't do this, don't say that. So, let's Ravel, come on, and let's spar. He's scared of PFT. Straight up scared of him.
Well, I mean,
He said he'd do Pardon My Take without PFT there.
that would actually be funny.
Yeah, but he was like, we were saying we'd do like a director's cut and just have PFT roast him over it, like Mr. Science.
You need to
Theater.
have Hank with like an earpiece.
Yeah,
playing
right.
the
But
PFT
that's
role.
kind of that's a puss move. That's a snowflake move. I did that to you.
I was gonna say, there's a reason
Real
why.
bad.
There's a reason why
Yeah,
you're so
you got
touchy
them
about this.
flashbacks.
No, that's a.
I got you bad.
When did you get me?
KFC
Couch
Radio.
by Couch West.
Oh,
On
yeah, I've heard of
stage.
that, yeah.
Real bad.
Listen, it happens.
Yeah.
You tried to cake me too the other day.
Well,
Tried
but
the Aoki, and you
I've
should've-
tried
you should've
to
done it
kick
long
you, like,
distance. You would've got
17
him.
times. Yeah.
That's
So,
the run.
are you good with being 40?
He's promised that like we're done with DP40.
Yeah, DP40.
It was
talking
a
about.
chick move.
It was like birthday month.
Birthday week. Everyone holds signs of me.
Well, here's the question. And we've gone back and forth. Did you see they had like, first of all, Stooley's legitimately thought I sent the fatheads to the club.
You
like,
being like shocked by that, like that's a Portnoy move. So
Yeah.
it's very possible.
all things being equal, would you want that or not want that in my shoes walking in?
Not want that.
See, I want it. Like, I'm not because I want it, but because it helps with
Yeah.
girls.
I was saying I hate it as a move. At sitting on my couch, I was like, "You're a."
And you can ask them.
But if you're there, every chick is like,
Yeah.
Because it's like we're not famous enough where it's like, oh, it's not like you're Jay-Z. Everyone knows. It's like you need. It's like, oh, what's that now?
So then you're in the same exact sentence. You're saying you did not plan that when you're admitting that it helped with chicks, and you're like,
I knew it was coming after we saw it like twice. I had no idea that was coming when we walked in. And you can ask anyone I was with. The first time I went, they had like a drum line. People were playing drums, and they stopped our group and let me walk in. So I sat there alone with people playing drums at me, and I didn't know what to do.
What night was that? The 6th or 7th night of your
It
birthday?
was Thursday night, first one in there. But yeah,
Well, you got to do it in New York now. You got to have your New York birthday party.
do the New York tour. Also, we stayed at the Cosmo. We spent between gambling and the thing $100,000. We didn't get cut. And Kearns comes in. He's like, "Did they comp you anything?" The guy from Churn. We're like, "No." We couldn't even get glassware.
That's your sucker. They looked at you and you're like,
Glassware
this guy's a
or
sucker.
water. I called.
That's
the
a sucker
house. I go,
move.
"Can we just get glasses and water?" They didn't bring it.
You were the sucker.
respect.
That's zero respect.
Zero. So fuck you to the Cosmo. And they didn't tell us that there was an active shooter. How do you not tell somebody when somebody's shooting people down
I
the
think
lobby?
they just hope people are so drunk and fucked up that they just will never figure
Yeah, they
it
don't
out.
want that press. They're like, oh no, that didn't happen. That
Yeah.
was fake.
Or how about just though letting us know not to go get shot? So if I didn't see a random stoolie, that could have been fucking me with my head on the planet.
Oof, that would have been amazing.
Imagine the content.
That would have been amazing.
I
would've
would've
gone out,
I
King.
would have taken a bullet to the leg for sure.
It wouldn't be the worst if you got like shot and you were in a coma, in a
Yeah.
vegetative state, and we just had you like in an office bed, like in your office for the rest of your life.
Whatever moves papers.
Just
Coma's cell.
an iron lung. It'd be pretty funny.
All right, that's the rundown.